All right. Good evening, everyone. I am Vidula Sharda, the moderator of this webinar. We are delighted to welcome you all to this webinar, which is being organized by the CPE Committee of ICI. Please block your calendar for CPE webinars on Wednesdays and Fridays. It is my pleasure to be the moderator for the 79th webinar on Overview of Income Tax 2025 and Audit Quality from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. In a short while, we will start this webinar. First, I would like to apprise you about the CPE committee. The profession of chartered accountancy is growing leaps and bounds, and its phenomenal growth has brought the profession at the forefront. Today, our profession has acquired an indispensable position in business and economy. ICI continuously aim at developing knowledge edge so that the members stand out in the expectations of the society. To achieve this objective, the CPE Committee of ICI has been continuously striving for perfection, integrity, and knowledge, which make the word chartered accountant synonymous with the excellence in service. In this direction, the CP committee has always been proactive in the emerging needs of its members, enabling them to acquire contemporary knowledge and skills to face the challenges effectively by organizing CPE programs and providing adequate opportunities. The committee also believes that members of ICI should look beyond the traditional areas of practice and seek and explore new areas of business and profession. Hence, the CP committee is mentoring the members by providing guidance through various workshops, seminars, materials, etc., and simultaneously by encouraging young and dynamic professionals to grow as speaker, master of ceremonies, etc., in CPE programs. Now, the program for this evening is as follows. We have two sessions today of 1 hour each, and the topics are the first topic is Overview of Income Tax Act 2025, and the second topic is Audit Quality. Our eminent speakers will talk about the above mentioned emerging areas of professional interest. We also have the chairman sir, C. Satish Kumar Gupta sir, with us. Sri Satish Kumar Gupta sir is presently serving as the chairman of the CP committee of the ICI. In addition to this role, he is also the chairman of the UDEN Directorate and vice chairman of the committee for members in practice for the current term. He previously served as the council member of ICI from 2019 to 22. He's a renowned speaker and author specializing in income tax assessments, searches, surveys, and professional development topics like goal setting and career planning. Now, I would like to invite Satish sir for the opening remarks.
Thank you, Vidula, a young and dynamic chartered accountant, and my brother Sangam Agrawal ji from Delhi, who is a renowned speaker on the income tax, and my brother from Jaipur, who will take the another session on quality audit quality. Uh, Team CP, Team Tech for organizing this wonderful webinar. As rightly stated by Vidula, it is 79th webinar in this ICI year, I can say, from 13th of February 2025 to till date. And we are having a target of 100 such webinars. And so it's really wonderful. Vidula, you are hosting this webinar, and Sangam Bhai, you are taking the first session on income tax at 2025. And my dear friends who in a very good number attending this webinar, I welcome each one of you, and I place my hearty gratitudes towards each one of you for showering your love and affection towards the profession and towards the CP committee. And as we have, whenever we invite you, you always join us. We have tried this year to concentrate on two areas: quality of the CP programs and availability of the CP programs. Friends, to ensure the availability of the CP programs, we are holding as much as the seminars, conferences, webinars, and we are trying to open as many as new chapters and circles and CP groups to ensure that our members living in the remotest corner of the country are not are not in position that they are not getting any CP program. They can arrange their own program. And I think you all are aware that we, CP committee, pay rupees 50,000 grant to every CP chapter for a year so they can organize their program efficiently. Friends, apart from this, let me talk you about the quality of the CP programs. We are trying that, and we have covered this year as much as the speakers of our foreign nationals who are holding the key positions in the foreign countries. To we have invited them to apprise about the opportunities in their respective country. We have also invited several speakers from the industry to apprise all the members attending the webinars that what are the opportunities in their respective industries. We have also invited several MSME experts so to deliberate that what are the opportunities in the MSMEs. Apart from this, friends, from this year 2026, I think before 12th February, we will launch new CP portal which will take care of the real-time CP credit program, meaning thereby if any member register for a CP program of 12 hours but attend that program by any region for 4 hours only, so he or she will get the credit of 4 hours only. So we are coming up with the new technology and will ensure that this year, before 12th of February 2026, we launch that new CP portal, and our members feel proud that they, in their country, they have a very good mechanism to ensure the real-time CP credit program. So I would seek your suggestions and feedback as far as this particular launch of new CP portal is concerned. On one another thing which I have invited you several times, I again invite you. If you want to speak on any topic, on any subject, you please send your interest to cpadmin@ici.org. So they will call you and they will invite you to speak on the topic, and you will, this will be a win-win situation for you and for the members who are attending the but that particular webinar. So if you are interested to attend the webinar, please let us know. So we will definitely give you an opportunity for to speak on this particular portal. So this is about the CP. Friends, I am heading the UDIN also, and I would like to um request you two things. We have come up with a new UDIN portal, 10 days back, and I think you must be feeling some problems in the new UDIN portal, but I think now the problems are well settled. But still, if you have any problem, don't hesitate to connect with the UDIN portal. We are there to solve your all queries, all problems. But two things I would like to tell you. One thing, if you don't have any your PAN number registered with the SSP portal, register that particular PAN, otherwise you will not be able to generate UDIN. Second thing, whenever you go for the UDIN generation, they will ask your ID, so you will have to mention your membership number at the rate of ici.org. To complete ID, you will have to mention. If you mention only your membership number, that will not work, because now that UDIN portal has been attached with the SSP portal. So and the SSP portal's PAN, ID and PAN only will work in the UDIN also. So be aware with to these two things. So it will make your experience very good about the UDIN requirement. If still you face any issue, any technical or any issue, don't hesitate to contact with the UDIN directorate. We are here to help you. So, friend, this is about the UDIN. And now I would talk about something about the CMP committee, where I am vice chairman, but I am heading one group which is taking care of the members' benefit. So, friend, this last month we have launched one very important AU bank program for chartered accountants. They are giving us a credit card and they are opening a CASA account for our members. So if you talk about the credit card members, just go through the CMP portal and know about the whereabouts of the card and the CASA account. But I can assure you that there are very good features in the card available in the CASA account, and they are not charging any entry fees for the card. They are not charging any annual fees for the card, and that card is a metal card. and have giving you the eight access to eight domestic airport lounges. And apart from this, they are also giving you 25% discount on the fees of ICI, renewal fees of ICI payable by the member by the credit card company. ICI will not give any discount. Credit card company will give you discount up to 25% of your membership. So don't forget to, if you are interested, to don't forget to get this credit card and several other features also. And CASA account is also very good features. You can open the account attached with your membership number, and you see a logo is there. You will feel proud of that particular card. So don't worry, my dear friend. There are several other things which we are working. We are working with the Google. We are working with Adobe. We are working with the Meta. We are working with several other techno companies to have some other features for our members. So be alert and be always continuously visit the CMP site. So you are all well aware about the developments in the program. I'm not taking much of your time. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Sangam. Thank you, Vidula, and thank you another SP Vimal Bhai. All the best. I think the particular webinar will be attended by several members. Thank you. Thanks a lot. All the best. I am leaving
Thank you
the
so much, sir.
webinar because of some other engagements. Thanks a lot. All the best.
Thanks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Now it's time to begin with our first session. So we have with us C. Sangam Agarwal, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. So, Sir has over 15 years of experience in tax assessment, consultancy, finance, and business advisory. A fellow member of ICI, he holds degrees in commerce, law, and a diploma in information system audit. He has served as the secretary of NIRC ICI for the period 2022 to 23 and is a regional council member for the period 2022 to 29. He has significantly contributed to ICI, leading multiple committees and organizing numerous professional events. A frequent speaker on taxation and ethics, he also heads professional forums and NGOs advocating for financial professionals. He actively participates in social and cultural organizations. Thanks. So over to you, sir.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Viduraji, for a very nice and introduction. And I am thankful to CP committee and special thank to Satish Gupta ji for giving me opportunity to speak on this very important topic. And thanks to Ginny ma'am, she's also here, and other committee members, team staff members, those who have selected me to take today's session. Thank you so much. And friends, today we are going to discuss about overview of Income Tax Act 2025. Before that, I like to appreciate the CP committee because I am the one person who usually write so many things to CP committee, and I always get a very good feedback that whenever I raise any point to give any suggestion, the same should be discussed between the committee, and a positive outcome always come basically. So kindly accept my sincere thanks to CP committee because I also write to so many committees, but I always get a very positive feedback from the committee because they always accept my suggestions. So friends, now come to the important topic of today of Income Tax Act 2025. Before starting my presentation, friends, I would like to let you know that ICI itself issued this Income Tax Act 2025. I have a copy of that also. This is the copy of Income Tax Act. First time in the history of ICI, Income Tax ICI has printed its own act, and it is available at CDS portal only in 500 rupees. You can log in at your CDS portal and order this act. Okay, sometime it is under printing. If it is available there, you can order, and within 2 and 3 days you get the copy of that. And this is really very good act. And if you see the initial page, there is a comparison of old act versus new act. Section wise comparison has been given, and after that complete act is there, and everything is given in a so best possible manner so that we can very handily use this act basically. So this is one of my favorite brands. Whatever ICI did this, so it is my favorite one basically. So now come to my presentation part, friends. Ki what is the need? Friend, in today's session, we are not going to study complete act basically, but we are going to study the overview. What about the requirement of that, and how the things have been taken up in a positive manner to pass this act? Because friend, as we know that if we talk about DTC, direct tax code, it takes so many years. but still it couldn't come into the picture. But Income Tax Act 2025 come into the picture in less than 1 year basically. One initial bill come, the bill has been withdrawn, and thereafter fresh bill has been presented and same has been passed with all the three process, lower house, upper house, and finally by President of India. So everything is done in a so faster manner. The basic how it has been done in so faster manner. The key role is that the finance ministry prepare this act in such a way that there is no such significant change which will impact your taxation part, which will impact your due dates basically, which will increase the outflow of the taxpayer. So nothing has been done like this in this act. Therefore, the matter has not been deliberated, discussed in detail in both the house, and things get passed in very smoother way, basically, friend. Therefore, we got this act very early. So now we are going to discuss about the things what thing has been changed, what is the purpose of that, and how this act is different from the earlier act. Before starting my PPT, friends, I want to let you know that this is the utmost important right now to start studying this new act. Because friends, as soon as possible, 1st April will start. This act will become applicable. This act is going to be applicable from 1st April 2026. Therefore, as soon as the new financial year will start, you have to take care so many things. Like you have to deposit your TDS for the month of April 26 up to 7th of May. So you should know the change sections under which you need to deposit your TDS. And one another very important thing, lower deduction certificate. Generally, we apply lower deduction certificate first week of April so that we get the benefit of LDC in whole year. And for that, you also need to select respective sections under which section you are going to apply. Earlier, we apply section 197. Sometimes we apply 197 read with 195. So these all sections has been changed. Therefore, until unless you don't know about the change sections, okay, so you cannot apply such forms, and that is a paramount important to know all such changes so that you can apply from day one. So there the purpose of my today's presentation, just to let you know the act is 1st April is very near, only less than 3 months is there. So we all should start studying this so that we all have a good exposure of that, and again we become the master of income tax, friends. Okay, so now I am going to share my PPT with you all, friends. Just a second. Actually, is my PPT visible?
It's visible, sir. You can continue.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, friends, as you know that this act has been changed 60th year old Income Tax Act 1961. So something there is a need of the time to change it basically. So if you see in the introduction part, basically, friends, 6 decade old income tax has been changed. Okay, just the purpose is simplification. First thing, removing redundant provisions, simplify language, and ensuring the law keeps pace with the evolving economic environment and technological advancement. This is the main purpose of changing 1961 Act to the 2025 Act, friends. Whatever changes has been done in the acts, in the rules, through notification, through circular, through judgment, same has been incorporated under the new act basically, so that ease of doing business can practically be implemented through Income Tax Act, friend. So this is a very important slide, friend. I think you will found this slide in complete PPT is very interesting and very attractive, friends. If you see about the changes, अगर if I do a comparative analysis, friends, so in my comparative analysis is old versus new. If we talk about the number of words, in earlier act we have around 5 lakh words basically, and in new act we have around 2 lakh 60,000 words. That is around lesser by 49%. This is a drastic change. And friend, how and why the change has come? The reason behind is that there are so many sections which were omitted earlier, now they have been removed. First thing. Second thing, so many section has been clubbed through chapters like salary. All the section which pertain to salary has been clubbed into the in one chapter. So the number of word has reduced. Another example is tables. So many tables has been increased in new income tax act. Therefore, what has happened? That repetitive language has reduced. Okay. Example, if I talk about the TDS. So right now there are so many section of TDS. If you see read all such section, you will found there are so many common things. But in New Income Tax Act, common thing has been removed and only in table has been incorporated, and through such table the irrelevant words which were repeated again and again has been removed. Therefore the number of words has been decreased to 49%. Now although size look like older one, but if we study it, we will find that it is much easier to study it and much easier to interpret. And I believe in future litigation will be reduced. If you will, I am very much sure that the way the new income tax has been written up, okay, so the chances of income tax litigation will reduce. If friends, I am talking about chapters, chapter is also again reduced. Earlier there are 47 chapters, now it is only 23 chapters. Okay. And drastic change in number of sections, friends. Section is earlier 819 sections. Now it is only 536 sections. Or again, 35% drastic down basically in the number of sections. And friends, the things has increased tables and formulas basically. As I told you, now new income tax it very easy to read through tables and formulas. So first thing, when earlier there were 18 tables, now it is 57 tables. So table has been increased by 217% basically. Because as I told you, they made so many tables so that we can very easily grab up the income tax provision. We can very easily get the things and repeated what has been removed. Similarly, friends, formulas. It is a drastic change in Income Tax Act 2025. Earlier, there are six formulas in complete income tax. Now it is 46 formulas. So many formulas has been added so that interpretation can be done in a positive manner and chance of litigation get reduced. Because earlier, when we read any paragraph, even a full stop or comma change the meaning of a things basically. Okay, of a provision. But now when the thing given as a formula, so there will be huge clarity to apply such section. So friend, ultimately new income tax 2025 is basically a simplification tool of the earlier act basically. Okay. So right now, friends, you will see at income tax website also there is a one link. By this, you can write down old section and you can see the new section. As in front, you can see please select section of income tax act 1961. एग्जाम्पल के लिए फ्रेंड्स मैंने 80C सिलेक्ट करा है यहाँ पे और नए वाले एक्ट के अंदर सेक्शन है 123. आई वांट टू गिव यू क्लैरिफिकेशन फ्रेंड्स कि ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि न्यू एक्ट द ओल्ड टैक्स regime is not available. These all are same. New tax regime, old tax regime, everything whatever in older act, same thing are in a new act as well. उसमें कहीं कुछ चेंज नहीं किया गया, अदरवाइज बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है इस एक्ट को पास कर पाना. Therefore, there is no such significant change has been done which challenge the taxation part, which challenge the due date part, which challenge the basic rate and everything basically. Okay, so same thing has been changed, just numbers has been changed, irrelevant paragraph sections has been removed, and such clarification which are already through some circular and judgment are there, they all are incorporated in section itself. Now a section, a chapter is a complete package to understand a complete act. We are not required to refer here. There are some such notification or circulars. Even friends, in when we study the new income tax act, we can refer the earlier income tax circulars and notification. It is not totally irrelevant after this act. Even they have the equal validity. Okay, until unless there is some confusion in the section. For that purpose, we can refer such judgments, notification, and circular. When act is clear in itself, there is no need to refer such separate things like circular, notification, judgments. Okay. फिर अभी एक छोटा सा इशू से आप देख पा रहे हैं सामने कि एवरीथिंग इज रिटन एज ए बिल, फाइनेंस बिल 2025. राइट नाउ ऑल्दो इट इज ऑलरेडी बिकम ए एक्ट, बट स्टिल इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट हैज नॉट मॉडिफाइड देयर वेबसाइट. It is written still bill, although it is become act already. So when we are talking about the qualitative improvements, so friends, as I told you, simplified language in new income tax act 2025, the language has been simplified. Now they have very simple language, ठीक है, through formulas, through tables. So studying everything is very easy. Consolidation of amendments, जितनी भी फ्रेंड्स अमेंडमेंट्स थी, चाहे वो सर्कुलर में थी, नोटिफिकेशन थी, जजमेंट के थ्रू थी आपकी, ओके, उन सबको एक जगह कंसोलिडेट किया गया है. सच जजमेंट हैड बीन कंसोलिडेट एट वन प्लेस. एंड इफ वी सी ए चैप्टर, सपोज सैलरी का चैप्टर है, तो सारी की सारी matter which pertain to salary are given into one chapter. Another example, friends, if I talk about the taxation of non-profit organization, in one chapter, all the such sections are there. I will discuss in detail further ki how the consolidation has been done. And now, friend, talking about removal of absolute provision, friend, there are so many provision which are has been removed. Earlier, there were 800 something section. Out of that, around 200 section has already been removed or ineffective. Such section has been removed in the new income tax act basically. Structure rationalization, friends. If you see the quicker reference making compliance more efficient also basically as I told you कि tables दी गई है formulas दिए गए हैं तो वो structure को rationalize करता है जिससे कि we can easily grab up the act basically. And preservation of core principle. When whatever the core principle of the earlier act, same has been followed. Same has not been changed. The preamble of the act is still the same. That what is the purpose, what kind of income will charge, chargeability has not been changed and at any point of time, basically, friends. Okay, let's move, friends. As I told you, ki the formless has been incorporated in complete income tax act. This is a one example. If we see section 64, it talk about the special provision for the computing deduction in case of business reorganization of cooperative banks basically. Okay, in this case, what will be the happen? How the deduction will compute in case of reorganization of cooperative bank. So here, as you can see on the screen, friend, subsection 2 of section 64 talk about the formula, how you can derive the deduction part, A, B, C, and A, B, C, D has been defined in the section itself basically. So it is very become easy to calculate such deduction. Earlier, same thing has been written in a paragraph manner, so there may be confusion or there may be point of litigation. Now they know such litigation is there because things are very much clear through a formula. Okay. Now moving further, friends, concept of tax year introduced. This is a drastic change, friends, which we will see not in the earlier act, friend. The earlier we used the terminology financial year, previous year, assessment year. Okay. Now there is a two terminology only, financial year and tax year. For example, if we are in a January 2026, this is called financial year 25-26 basically. In tax term, it we can say tax year 25-26 basically. So tax year 26. If I talk about tax year 26, that means 25-26. Okay. Although in uh, other than India, in maximum country, the concept of tax year is already there. But we, India, in 1961 Act, we follow previous year assessment year. Now onwards, we are not will follow the concept of previous year assessment year. We will follow the concept of tax year only. Okay, I have already given you example. So this current year will be considered as tax year 25-26, or we can say tax year 26. If anywhere written is tax year 26, that means 25-26 basically. Okay, and second thing, friends, in Income Tax Act, still at some places, still at some places, still at some places, the financial year has been referred. Okay, still at some places, financial year has been referred. So wherever there is a requirement to referring the financial year word has been used. Otherwise, the word tax year has been used basically, friend. We'll see example in next slide. Mm. So, example के लिए friends, how when we can say that a tax year is less than 12 months, basically, is it possible? Is it possible to have a tax year less than 12 months? The answer is yes, it is possible. In what case it is possible? If a SSC has incorporated in between the tax year. Suppose a company has been incorporated on 1st August 2025. In that case, their tax year will be less than 12 months. Second, a source of income has been started. For that particular source of income, tax year will be less than financial year basically. Okay, and I told you, friend, in some places the proper word financial year is also mentioned. Okay, so as and when they need to discuss about non-tax point, suppose the gratuity received in one particular financial year, the things financial year word has been used. Otherwise, tax year word has been used each and every place basically, friend. And one more important thing has been done, friends. so many definition also added. Earlier, friend, the definition of senior citizen was not there, but now the section 100 which talk about the definition of senior citizen. ये सब सेक्शन 100 है आपका फ्रेंड्स, जो आपको बताता है कि सीनियर सिटीजन क्या होगा, सुपर सीनियर सिटीजन क्या होगा, उसकी डेफिनेशन ही प्रॉपरली आपको एक्ट में ही इंकॉर्पोरेट की गई है आपके लिए बेसिकली. दिस ईयर थिंग फ्रेंड्स, आई टोल्ड यू basically in case of non-profit organization, when we talk about the non-profit organization, in case of non-profit organization we have so many sections to deal with. Section 11, section 12A, 12AA, 12AB, then 13, ठीक है, ऐसी 80G आपका, 1023C है आपका. तो there are so many sections under for NPO taxation. Now same has been divided into one chapter basically. ओके, एक चैप्टर में जितनी भी एनपीओ की ट्रांजेक्शन्स है उसको उस चैप्टर में डिवाइड कर दिया गया है बेसिकली. और उस चैप्टर के अंदर सारे के सारे एनपीओ से सारे प्रोविजन एक ही जगह आएंगे आपके. वो एक जगह आने से क्या होगा फ्रेंड, आई एम नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू रेफर सो मेनी सेक्शंस कंप्लीट एक्ट जस्ट टू चेक द एप्लीकेबिलिटी एंड टैक्सेशन ऑफ नॉन प्रॉफिट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बेसिकली. Okay, so these are the ease of being doing business by through this act basically. Fine, this is the one of the example of table. As I told you कि जितना भी टीडीएस का पार्ट है या जहाँ भी ऐसी मल्टीपल फ्रिक्वेंसी वाली चीजें थी उनको टेबल के थ्रू दिया गया है बेसिकली. तो आई यू कैन सी वेरी इजीली एग्जांपल ऑफ टीडीएस. दिस इज स्क्रीनशॉट ऑफ द एक्ट only for the rent purpose. Earlier, friend, when you see the section 194I, which talk about the rent, they are so lengthy section. But in this one screenshot, you can see in one row, complete section of 194I has been come basically. Okay, income by way of rent, person other than specified person, rate, basic limit कितनी है जिसके ऊपर TDS कटेगा, ये सब all these things has been given in a tabular manner, which enable tax professional to and taxpayer to quickly identify applicable rates, these all and conditions, substantially reduce the time and efforts required for the compliance whilst minimizing the error basically. So yeah, it will reduce the litigation. And friends, might be some of you are aware about the ready reckoner. Okay, earlier there is a income tax act, one is the act, one is ready reckoner. So friend, now you can see in income tax act 2025, so many things are given in a such a manner which are given in the ready reckoner basically. So referring such thing become very easy now. Okay, so simplification for salaried person, salary employee in new tax bill. Okay, okay, it should be act basically. As I told you, friends, when we talk about the salary person, there are so many sections for salary person also. Deduction are there. Section 10, gratuity, VRS, leave encashment. So many sections. Section 10 also. Chargeability is there. Now the same thing has been given in one chapter. Taxation of employees, salary employee given under one chapter, which help to employees to refer only one chapter so that they can very easily identify that what taxation is applicable on them, what kind of deduction available to them. These things are given in a very lucrative manner basically. Okay, so change to exemption, new schedule of a simplified compliances. Friend, if you see schedule number 2, 3, 4, schedule number 2 have 16 rows which talk about the income exempt such as agriculture income. तो इस शेड्यूल 2 के अंदर जितनी भी आपकी इनकम एग्जम्प्ट होती है ना, वो सारी इनकम आपके शेड्यूल 2 के अंदर मेंशन कर रखी है. वहीं पे आपकी जो एग्रीकल्चर की डेफिनेशन भी है, सब चीजें आपको शेड्यूल 2 में दे देगी आपको. देन देयर शेड्यूल 3, certain person eligible for exemption on certain income such as a partners or firms and HUF. This is also given in schedule 3 only. ओके, एग्जेम्प्टेड टू नॉन रेजिडेंट. अब नॉन रेजिडेंट को किस किस इनकम की एग्जेम्पशन होती है आपको शेड्यूल 4 के अंदर दे रखी है. तो ऐसे करके सो मैनी डिटेल्स आर गिवन इन ए शेड्यूल्स under one chapter, so it become very easy for a taxpayer to read that and study that basically. फॉर्मूला बेस्ड क्लैरिटी, इफ आई टॉक अबाउट द न्यू एक्ट फ्रेंड्स, इसमें क्या है, फॉर्मूले से आपको काफी क्लैरिटी दे रखी है, टेबुलर प्रेजेंटेशन दे रखी है आपको, एक स्ट्रक्चर बिल्कुल क्लियर स्ट्रक्चर है आपका बेसिकली एक्ट का. फोकस कंटेंट है आपका, ऐसा नहीं कि चीज रिपीटेड मैनर के अंदर है, ऐसा नहीं है, फोकस कंटेंट है नए एक्ट के अंदर आपके लिए बेसिकली. Okay, so this is another section friends, depreciation. फ्रेंड, एज यू नो दैट कि अर्लियर सेक्शन आपका 32 था आपका इनकम टैक्स एक्ट 1961 के अंदर, और 2025 के अंदर सेक्शन नंबर 33 है आपका. सेक्शन 33 टॉक अबाउट द डेप्रिसिएशन. तो फ्रेंड्स अगर मैं कहता हूँ वर्ड काउंट, तो 40% आपके वर्ड्स कम हो गए हैं। रेट आपका 100% अनचेंज है। पॉलिसी में कोई भी चेंज नहीं किया गया एक तरह से आपका। पॉलिसी में कोई चेंज नहीं है आपका, 1% चेंज नहीं है पॉलिसी के अंदर आपका। ठीक है। तो अब इसमें क्या किया गया, इसको फ्रेंड आपको एक टेबल की फॉर्म में दिया गया आपको कि ठीक है, तो उसको कन्वर्ट कर दिया। पहले 6 क्लोज थी, उसके सबसेक्शन थे, 9 प्रोविजन थे, 6 एक्सप्लेनेशन थी, 63 से चलता आ रहा था बेसिकली। अब उसको कन्वर्ट कर दिया गया, प्रोवाइजो कन्वर्ट इनटू सबसेक्शंस। वो जो प्रोवाइजो थे उनको सबसेक्शन में कन्वर्ट कर दिया गया है। जिससे कि एक तो क्या होता है फ्रेंड, अगर इफ आई टॉक अबाउट सेक्शन थर्ड प्रोवाइजो सेक्शन 44 AB, तो इट बिकम वेरी डिफिकल्ट कि थर्ड प्रोवाइजो कौन सा वाला, सबसेक्शन 1 का, 2 का, 3 का, किसी का। तो ऐसे करके ना पढ़ने में बड़ी कंफ्यूजन होती थी पुराने वाले एक्ट के अंदर। अब उस सबसेक्शन को सेक्शन का ही पार्ट बना दिया गया है। तो उससे क्या हुआ, उससे उस सेक्शन को रेफर करना पढ़ना आसान हो गया, और उसको कहीं मेंशन करना बड़ा आसान हो गया, और कोई कंफ्यूजन का स्कोप खत्म हो गया उस चीज से बेसिकली फ्रेंड आपका। ठीक है। दिस इज बेसिकली डेप्रिसिएशन का पार्ट है। रेट में कहीं कोई चेंज नहीं है आपका। जैसे पहले होता था वो सेम चीज अभी है आपका, कि अगर आपने 180 डेज तक इस्तेमाल से कम इस्तेमाल करी है आपने, ठीक है, तो उस केस में आपका डेप्रिसिएशन हाफ लगेगा उसके ऊपर। 180 दिन ज्यादा इस्तेमाल करिए तो डेप्रिसिएशन फुल मिलेगा आपको। वो सारी चीजें सेम टू सेम है अभी फ्रेंड्स। और फ्रेंड्स अगर मैं बात करता हूँ ड्यू डेट्स की, जैसे हमारी रिटर्न्स की ड्यू डेट होती है 31 जुलाई होती है हमारी इंडिविजुअल्स की रिटर्न नॉन ऑडिट केसेस के अंदर। उसके बाद हमारी फर्दर डेट होती है आपकी 30 सितंबर की, तब तक हमको अपने टैक्स रिटर्न अपलोड करने होते हैं। उसके बाद 31 अक्टूबर होती है ITR फाइल करने की डेट। 30 नवंबर होती है ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग वाले केसेस के अंदर। तो सारे के सारे सेम डेट हैं, कहीं पर कोई भी चेंज नहीं है किसी डेट के अंदर बेसिकली। एवरी डेट आर सेम। ठीक है, जिससे कि अभी कुछ कंफ्यूजन ना हो। कुछ चेंज करना होगा फ्यूचर में चेंज करेंगे। और फ्रेंड्स अर्लियर देयर देयर इज स्पेकुलेशंस कि जो कैलेंडर ईयर है उसको फॉलो करेंगे हम टैक्सेशन पर्पज से, बट ऐसा कोई भी चेंज नहीं है। जो हमारा फाइनेंशियल ईयर है उसी को एज ए टैक्स ईयर हम फॉलो कर रहे हैं, कोई कैलेंडर ईयर कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है। ऑल दो हम देखें आउटसाइड इंडिया, इन मैनी कंट्रीज concept of calendar year is followed, but still we are following financial year, which is starting from 1st April and ending on 31st March basically. Clear friends? अब फ्रेंड एक ही ड्रास्टिक चेंज हुआ है आपका अभी। अब फ्रेंड हम कुछ चेंजेस डिस्कस करेंगे कि नए वाले एक्ट में पुराने वाले एक्ट के मुकाबले क्या क्या चेंजेस हुए हैं फ्रेंड्स। जैसा कि फ्रेंड्स आपको पता है, अभी रिसेंटली 3 ईयर बिफोर एक अमेंडमेंट आई थी TDS और TCS करेक्शन स्टेटमेंट के अंदर। जो लोग हम लोग 24Q 26Q 27Q फाइल करते हैं, उसमें एक टाइम लिमिट दी गई थी सेक्शन 203 के अंदर, 6 ईयर की, कि 6 ईयर फ्रॉम द एंड ऑफ द रेलिवेंट फाइनेंशियल ईयर। ठीक है। जिस फाइनेंशियल ईयर में आपने वो रिटर्न फाइल करी है, उस फाइनेंशियल ईयर के एंड से 6 ईयर तक आप उसकी करेक्शन फाइल कर सकते हैं। उसके बाद उसकी करेक्शन स्टेटमेंट फाइल नहीं कर सकते बेसिकली, क्योंकि इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट फेसिंग सो मेनी थिंग्स कि लोग बाद में भी रिवाइज कर देते थे। ठीक है। अब उनका ITR प्रोसेसिंग का टाइम निकल चुका है, स्कूटनी का टाइम निकल चुका है, तो इसलिए टाइम लिमिट लेके आए थे बेसिकली। बट आई वांट टू लेट यू नो कि जो नया एक्ट के अंदर सेक्शन है वो 397 सबसेक्शन 3A(F) है। ठीक है। वो कहता है कि आपको 6 ईयर नहीं, आपको 2 ईयर्स में करना है, एंड ऑफ द रेलिवेंट फाइनेंशियल ईयर, कि जिस जिस साल में आपने अकॉर्डिंग टू द सेक्शन ए असेसी इज अलाउड टू फाइल करेक्शन स्टेटमेंट TDS एंड TCS रिटर्न फाइलिंग 2 ईयर फ्रॉम द एंड ऑफ द रेलिवेंट फाइनेंशियल ईयर, कि जो आपने रिटर्न फाइल करी है उस ईयर के एंड के 2 ईयर्स के अंदर करना है। तो फिर अभी एक ड्रास्टिक चेंज आने वाला है, और वो ट्रेसिस की साइट के ऊपर ना, वो आपका एक एज एन एडवाइजरी दे भी रखा है बेसिकली आपका। इस एडवाइजरी में ये दे रखा है कि भैया CBDT की एडवाइजरी है, जो 31 मार्च 2025 तक आपको जो फाइल करने हैं वो 6 साल तक क्या फाइल कर सकते हो। उसके बाद जो आप फाइल करोगे वो 2 साल वाले पीरियड के ही फाइल करोगे बेसिकली। तो थोड़ी सी यहाँ पे कंफ्यूजन है फ्रेंड, अभी डुअल रेफरेंस है यहाँ पे, कि भैया जब इनकम टैक्स एक्ट 1 अप्रैल 2025 को नया वाला एक्ट अप्लीकेबल हो जाएगा, तो जो हमारी ड्यू डेट्स TDS रिटर्न से रिलेटेड थी, उसकी करेक्शन को रिलेटेड थी, तो 6 ईयर फॉलो करेंगे, 2 ईयर फॉलो करेंगे। अगर हम इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट की माने बात, अगर जो ट्रेसिस पे एडवाइजरी भी दे रखी है, वो हम बात करते हैं 2 ईयर की, कि 2 साल तक ही आप कर सकते हैं। ठीक है। तो वहां पे लिखी हुई एडवाइजरी, सिविलिटी हैड एडवाइज ऑल डिडक्टर टू फाइल पेंडिंग करेक्शन स्टेटमेंट बिफोर 31 मार्च 2026 बेसिकली। ये कहते हैं 26 से पहले जितनी पेंडिंग वाली पार्ट है उसको आप फाइल कर लें, उसके बाद आपको सिर्फ 2 साल का टाइम दिया जाएगा आपको फाइल करने के लिए बेसिकली, उसके बाद आपको अलाउ नहीं किया जाएगा। तो ये एक बहुत ड्रास्टिक चेंज है फ्रेंड्स, जिसको हमें अपनी TDS की करेक्शन को टाइमली मेंटेन करके करेक्शन फाइल करने के, अब हमें यूज टाइम मिलने वाला नहीं है। ठीक है सर। एक और फ्रेंड बड़ा ड्रास्टिक और इंपॉर्टेंट चेंज हुआ है आपका कैपिटल गेन अकाउंट स्कीम के अंदर। ठीक है। फ्रेंड जैसे कि हमारी कैपिटल गेन अकाउंट स्कीम होती है, हमें किसी को लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन होता है किसी रेजिडेंशियल प्रॉपर्टी से, तो उस केस में हम क्या करते हैं, एक कैपिटल गेन अकाउंट खोलते हैं और उसके अंदर हम अपना पैसा इन्वेस्ट कर देते हैं, और सर्टेन टाइम तक उस तक हम उससे पैसे को निकाल के फिर नेक्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी परचेज कर सकते हैं। तो फ्रेंड जो हमारा ओल्ड एक्ट था आपका 1961 वाला, दैट टॉक अबाउट द शेड्यूल बैंक। वहां पे शेड्यूल बैंक लिखा था कि जो शेड्यूल बैंक होगा उसमें आप खोल सकते हो। तो जितने भी मेजर बैंक है सब शेड्यूल बैंक होते हैं, और उन बैंक्स के अंदर हम जाके अकाउंट खोल सकते हैं और उस पैसे को जमा करा सकते हैं। और उस पैसे के जमा कराने से हमको क्या होगा, उस पर फिर कैपिटल टैक्स एप्लीकेबल नहीं होता। अब फिर ने जो नया एक्ट है आपका 2025 बेसिकली, वहां पे अभी ना बैंकों के लिस्ट ही दे रखे हो, शेड्यूल बैंक वर्ड यूज नहीं कर रखा। वहां पे क्या रखा है कि वी विल नोटिफाई, फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री फिर विल नोटिफाई इन लेटर। तो अभी एज ऑन डेट तो कोई अभी आया नहीं है, बट ये एक प्रोसीजर पार्ट है, आई एम अज्यूमिंग कि जल्दी आ जाएगा। ठीक है, आप जो नए वाला एक्ट है उसका पेज नंबर 132 एक्ट रेफर कर सकते हैं, तो वहां पे इस वाली चीज के बारे में आपको प्रॉपरली दिया गया है बेसिकली। बस इतना सा फर्क है कि पुराने वाले एक्ट में शेड्यूल बैंक वर्ड था, इसमें शेड्यूल बैंक यूज नहीं है, और बैंकों को एक नोटिफिकेशन के थ्रू अलग से नोटिफाई किया जाएगा उसको। ठीक है सर। वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट चेंज फ्रेंड, virtual digital asset. The scope of virtual digital asset has been broadened to cover any asset that hold value in digital form and operate using cryptographic ledger systems such as cryptocurrencies or similar technologies. तो फ्रेंड इसमें भी क्या किया गया है, इसमें प्रॉपर डेफिनेशन ऐड की गई है कि वर्चुअल डिजिटल एसेट क्या होगी। और जो डेफिनेशन है बहुत ही बॉर्डर है, काफी चीजों को उसमें कवर कर लिया। क्रिप्टोग्राफी लेजर्स को कवर कर लिया गया, क्रिप्टो करेंसीज को कवर कर लिया गया, और सिमिलर टेक्नोलॉजी को कवर कर लिया गया। जबकि हम पुराने वाले एक्ट के अंदर प्रॉपर डेफिनेशन इसकी अवेलेबल नहीं थी। तो जो भी लोग क्रिप्टो करेंसी में डील करते हैं वो नए वाले एक्ट के अंदर काफी हद तक कवर हो जाएंगे बेसिकली इसके अंदर। तो आप पेज नंबर 23 रेफर कर सकते हैं नए वाले एक्ट का। ऐसी फ्रेंड वर्चुअल डिजिटल स्पेस, virtual digital space has been defined as an environment era or a realm that is constructed and experienced through computer technology. It include email server, cloud server, social media account, online investment and trading account and website for storing details of asset ownership. तो फ्रेंड आप देखेंगे जैसे कि जो डेफिनेशन है वर्चुअल डिजिटल स्पेस की, इसको भी प्रॉपरली ऐड किया गया नए वाले एक्ट के अंदर, जिससे कि इसके अंदर आपकी जो ईमेल है, ईमेल सर्वर है, क्लाउड सर्वर है, सोशल मीडिया अकाउंट्स हैं, ऑनलाइन इन्वेस्टमेंट है और ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट है, इन सबको ऐड किया गया कि ये सब वर्चुअल डिजिटल स्पेस है। और इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट के पास पूरी पावर है इन सबको एक्सेस करने की, विद ड्यू परमिशन विद द हायर अथॉरिटी। उनसे परमिशन लेके वो इनको ड्यूरिंग सर्च, सर्वे, इन्वेस्टिगेट कर सकते हैं, इनको कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं। तो ऐसी सारी पावर आपको इस नए वाले एक्ट के अंदर दे रखी है। पुराने वाले एक्ट में भी ऐसी पावर थी, वो सब थी थ्रू जजमेंट बेसिकली। एक्ट में बहुत क्लियरली चीजें स्पेसिफाई नहीं थी, बट यहाँ पे क्या किया, एक्ट के अंदर ही चीजों को बहुत अच्छे से डिफाइन कर दिया गया, उनकी डेफिनेशन को क्लियरली दे दिया गया, सो दैट कोई कंफ्यूजन का स्कोप ना बचे फ्रेंड्स। आप इसको पेज नंबर 288 रेफर कर सकते हैं। और फिर मीन वाइल अगर आपने अभी हार्ड कॉपी अपनी ऑर्डर नहीं करी है सीडीएस पोर्टल से, आप डायरेक्ट टैक्स कमेटी की साइट से इसकी सॉफ्ट कॉपी डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं एक्ट की, और उसको स्टडी कर सकते हैं। बड़े अच्छे तरीके से इसको पेजअप किया गया है कि हम उसको बड़ी डिटेल में अच्छे से पढ़ पाएं फ्रेंड बेसिकली। और फ्रेंड्स इस एक्ट के अंदर कुछ चीजों को सिंप्लीफाई भी किया गया है। सिंप्लीफिकेशन मेरा मतलब है सेक्शन के अंदर किसी सिंप्लीफिकेशन की रिक्वायरमेंट थी जो लॉजिकली रिक्वायर्ड था, तो उसको यहाँ पे जरूर किया गया है। इसका एग्जांपल के लिए फ्रेंड्स, जैसे गवर्नमेंट कंपल्सरी एक्वायर करती है, ठीक है, और उसमें कुछ कंपनसेशन देती है आपको अगर, ठीक है। तो अर्लियर क्या था फ्रेंड, अगर मेरी कोई लैंड है मेरे पास, वो गवर्नमेंट ने एक्वायर कर ली, अब क्या होता था कि मुझे उसको जो पैसा मिलेगा, जनरली गवर्नमेंट कंपनसेशन के केस में पैसा लेट मिलता है मुझे। अब और मुझे उसमें अगर कुछ भी इन्वेस्ट करना है, चाहे 54 F और 54 EC के बॉन्ड में इन्वेस्ट करना है, ठीक है, तो वो सब क्या था जब मुझे पैसा ही नहीं मिला। बट लेकिन वहां पे जो टाइम लिमिट है वो टाइम लिमिट खत्म हो जाएगी आपकी। जैसे मुझे 54 EC के बॉन्ड लेने हैं, उसकी टाइम लिमिट है 6 मंथ फ्रॉम द सेल ऑफ एसेट। जिस दिन मेरी ट्रांजेक्शन मैंने एसेट सेल कर दी, उसके 6 मंथ के अंदर मुझे क्या करना है, मुझे 54 इसी के बॉन्ड लेने हैं। अब गवर्नमेंट कंपल्सरी एक्वायर कर रही है, उसके से पैसा 2 साल बाद, 2.5 साल बाद आ रहा है बेसिकली। तो लॉजिकल नहीं था कि वो उसका 54 EC का बेनिफिट ले पाए। अब यहाँ पे चेंज किया गया। तो पहले क्या था वो पढ़ते हैं, फिर देखते हैं नया क्या चेंज हुआ है इसके अंदर। द टाइम लिमिट फॉर एक्वायरिंग न्यू एसेट और डिपॉजिटिंग द अकाउंट इन बॉन्ड्स और स्कीम नोटिफाइड बाय सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट विल काउंटेड फ्रॉम द डेट ऑफ रिसिप्ट ऑफ कंपनसेशन। अब जिस दिन कंपनसेशन मिलेगा, उस डेट से आप रेफर किया जाएगा कि आपको जो वो पीरियड है 6 महीने का, वो डेट ऑफ रिसीव कंपनसेशन लगेगा, ना कि डेट ऑफ सेल ऑफ कैपिटल एसेट से लगेगा बेसिकली। इफ द कैपिटल एसेट इज एक्वायर्ड बाय वे ऑफ कंपल्सरी एक्विजिशन अंडर एनी लॉ, ठीक है, अगर कंपल्सरी एक्वायर होती है कोई भी चीज, तो उस केस में यहाँ पे आपका लग जाएगा फ्रेंड्स। फ्रेंड आपको एक डाउट आ रहा होगा मन में आपके फ्रेंड्स कि सर 54 बी के अंदर तो इसकी एक सेपरेट डिडक्शन मिलती है और सेक्शन 10 में एग्जाम्प्ट होता है बेसिकली। फ्रेंड्स क्या होता है कि जो सेक्शन 10 हमारा होता है वहां पे कब एग्जाम्प्ट होता है, अगर मेरी कोई एग्रीकल्चर लैंड है और वो गवर्नमेंट ने कंपनी से एक्वायर कर ली मेरी एग्रीकल्चर, वो रूरल एग्रीकल्चर लैंड है मेरी, तो उस केस में मेरे पे कोई भी टैक्स अप्लीकेबल उस पर नहीं होगा। ठीक है। और उसमें क्या, दूसरा क्या है फ्रेंड, अगर मेरी कोई अर्बन एग्रीकल्चर लैंड है और उससे मैंने क्या करी, मैंने फर्दर एग्रीकल्चर लैंड खरीद ली। ठीक है। रूरल एग्रीकल्चर लैंड से अर्बन एग्रीकल्चर लैंड से मैं रूरल एग्रीकल्चर लैंड खरीद ली, तो 54 बी में मैं उसकी डिडक्शन क्लेम कर सकता हूँ बेसिकली। ओके। अब जो नए प्रोविजन में क्या चेंज हुआ फ्रेंड, उसको हमने क्या कर लिया था, एक्विजिशन डेट से ले लिया। सॉरी, अर्लियर क्या था, वो एक्विजिशन डेट से था जिस दिन सेल करी, अब वो हो गया डेट ऑफ रिसीट ऑफ कंपनसेशन। तो थोड़ी सी क्लैरिटी आ गई नए वाले एक्ट के अंदर फ्रेंड्स। तो आप इसके लिए पेज नंबर 134 को रेफर कर सकते हो, सेक्शन 89 जो इस एक्ट में दे रखा है फ्रेंड्स आपका। एक और फ्रेंड बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट और वेलकम चेंज किया गया है, इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ डिस्प्यूट रिजोल्यूशन कमेटी। ठीक है फ्रेंड, ये क्या होता है फ्रेंड्स, जैसे डीआरपी होता है फ्रेंड, वैसे आपका डिस्प्यूट रिजोल्यूशन कमेटी होता है। ये आपका नॉन रेजिडेंट के लिए नहीं होता, ये रेजिडेंट के लिए होता है बेसिकली आपका। ओके। अंडर द न्यू इनकम टैक्स एक्ट बिल 2025 द डीआरसी स्टेब्लिश वाया सेक्शन 379, इसका 379 सेक्शन है इसका। द बिल एम्पावर द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट टू कंस्टिट्यूट वन और मोर डिस्प्यूट रिजोल्यूशन कमेटी for eligible person oblique class power of the DRC under section 379. Okay, the DRC may modify the variation in the specified order, and this is very welcome change. Earlier such provision are not there कि डीआरसी के पास मॉडिफाई करने की पावर है बेसिकली। कोई भी वेरिएशन असेसिंग ऑफिसर ने पास करी है तो डीआरसी कैन मॉडिफाई द वेरिएशन इन द स्पेसिफाइड ऑर्डर। इट कैन रिड्यूस और वेव एनी पेनल्टी पेबल अंडर द एक्ट, मतलब डीआरसी को पावर दी गई है कि वो रिड्यूस भी कर सकता है, वेव भी कर सकता है कोई पेनल्टी अगर उसको जस्टिफाई लगता है। It has the authority to grant immunity from prosecution for certain offences under the Act, subject to the prescribed condition, effect of the assessing officer. Okay. Once the DRC issue its order, the AO must act on it. If the specified order was a draft assessment under 275(1) of the AO, pass a final order, assessment, reassessment, or recomputation. If it was so, some other order, AO must modify the existing order to conformity with the DRC direction within 1 month after the रिसीविंग द डीआरसी ऑर्डर। जब उसको 1 मंथ के अंदर डीआरसी का ऑर्डर मिल जाएगा, उसमें वो फिर अपना ऑर्डर, डीआरसी का जो ऑर्डर आएगा उसके बेस पे अपना फाइनल ऑर्डर पास करेगा बेसिकली वो। ठीक है फ्रेंड। ऐसे यहाँ पे आपको डिफाइन कर रखा है कि स्पेसिफाई ऑर्डर का क्या मतलब है। द बिल डिफाइन दैट काइंड्स ऑफ ऑर्डर आर एलिजिबल, तो आप देखेंगे ना ये सब चीजें यहाँ पे पूरा एक्ट में प्रॉपर्ली डिफाइन किया गया। तो डीआरसी को थोड़ी ज्यादा पावर दी गई है इस नए वाले एक्ट के अंदर एज कम्पेयर टू ओल्ड एक्ट बेसिकली। ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे आप देखेंगे बाय डीआरसी इंपॉर्टेंट इन 2025 एक्ट कंटेस्ट अल्टरनेटिव टू द लॉन्ग लिटिगेशन, डीआरसी प्रोवाइड ए फास्टर लेस adversarial way to resolve tax dispute, especially for similar smaller taxpayer facilities settlement through power to waive penalties and grant immunity. DRC encourage taxpayer to settle rather than appeal through lengthy processes. Digital and efficient, since it was part of the EDRS, the mechanism is more technology and process driven, which reduce frictions. Statutorily backed by including DRC in 2025 Act explicitly Section 379. The mechanism is more centralized and has a फर्मर लीगल फुटिंग बेसिकली। तो मतलब डीआरसी को ज्यादा पावर दी गई है, ऑर्डर को मॉडिफाई करने की पावर दी गई है, और पेनल्टी को वेव करने की, इम्यूनिटी को वेव करने की पावर दी गई है। तो ये कहीं ना कहीं एक वेलकम स्टेप है जो इस एक्ट के अंदर, जो एज कम्पेयर टू ओल्डर एक्ट था उससे एनहेंस चीजें दी गई है, मतलब कहीं ना कहीं बेनिफिट में दी गई है एसएससीज के। तो इसलिए चीजें बहुत इजीली पास भी हो गई बेसिकली, इसलिए आपका बिल। ऐसे फ्रेंड्स अगर मैं आपसे बात करता हूँ सर्च एंड सीजर की बात करता हूँ, सर्च एंड सीजर की बात करता हूँ अगर आपसे, तो इसमें 2025 एक्ट के अंदर जो चेंजेस आए हैं, एक तो ब्रॉडर कवरेज ऑफ द एसेट। फ्रेंड आप देखेंगे कि ड्यूरिंग सर्च ए असेसिंग ऑफिसर जब हमारे यहाँ सर्च करने आता है, कोई टीम आती है इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट की, तो हमसे क्या क्या डॉक्यूमेंट ले सकती है और क्या डॉक्यूमेंट हमसे नहीं ले सकती। इसको लेके बड़ा डिस्प्यूट होता है कि सर ये डॉक्यूमेंट ले सकती है, ये डिजिटल है, ये नॉन डिजिटल है। तो ये सब चीज़ें कहीं ना कहीं डिस्प्यूट रहता है। तो कहीं ना कहीं अब नए वाले एक्ट के अंदर चीज़ों को काफ़ी हद तक एक्सप्लेन किया गया है कि क्या आइटम कवर होगी, कैसे कवर होगी आपका। जैसे कि द एक्ट एक्सप्लिसिटली कवर एनी एसेट इंक्लूडिंग मॉडर्न आइटम लाइक डिजिटल डाटा, कंप्यूटर सिस्टम, सर्वर एक्सेट्रा। जबकि ओल्ड वाले एक्ट में क्या था, मेनली फिजिकल और टेंजिबल एसेट्स को ज़्यादा मेंशन किया गया था, बट ड्यूरिंग थ्रू सर्कुलर, थ्रू नोटिफिकेशन, जजमेंट्स चीज़ें कवर थी, बट लेकिन एक्ट में उन सबको कवर कर लिया गया, जिससे कि ज़्यादा अच्छे से अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो गई, डिस्प्यूट के चांस थोड़े कम हो गए उसके अंदर बेसिकली आपके। ऐसे फ्रेंड, वाइडर एनफोर्समेंट अथॉरिटी, द वर्डिंग ऑफ 2025 एक्ट इज ब्रॉडर एंड गिव द एओ ग्रेटर डिस्क्रेशन टू रिस्ट्रिक्ट एसेट, टेंजिबल और इंटेंजिबल, टू प्रोटेक्ट द रेवेन्यू। तो यहाँ पे असेसिंग ऑफिसर को ज्यादा पावर दी गई है, जो उसके मेनली इंटेंजिबल एसेट्स है ना, उनको भी चेकआउट करने की, उनको भी मतलब कहीं ना कहीं डीप डिगिंग करने की, सो दैट दे कैन प्रोटेक्ट कर सके रेवेन्यू को, ज्यादा अच्छे से सस्पेंड कर सके बेसिकली आपकी। ठीक है। ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी अलाइंड प्रोविजंस कि जो भी हमारे प्रोविजंस है बेसिकली द न्यू इनकम टैक्स है, क्लियरली ब्रिंग डिजिटल एसेट, क्लाउड डाटा, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स रिकॉर्ड विद इन द स्कोप ऑफ रिस्ट्रिक्शंस बेसिकली। जैसे कि ओल्ड, आपका जो ओल्ड एक्ट था डिड नॉट एक्सप्लिसिटली इंक्लूड टेक्नोलॉजिकल एसेट्स, बट नए वाले एक्ट के अंदर जितनी आपकी टेक्नोलॉजिकल एसेट्स हैं आपकी, क्लाउड डाटा, डिजिटल एसेट, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक रिकॉर्ड विद इन द स्कोप ऑफ रिस्ट्रिक्शन, इन सबको कहीं ना कहीं ऐड किया गया है डेफिनेशन के अंदर, और जिसको अब असेसिंग ऑफिसर बड़ी इजीली सीज कर सकता है और अपनी पोजीशन में ले सकता है एक तरह से ना, वो सब चीज़ें बड़े अच्छे तरीके से नए वाले एक्ट के अंदर करी गई है बेसिकली फ्रेंड। ऐसे फ्रेंड, सिंप्लीफाई एंड स्ट्रॉन्गर स्ट्रक्चर, द 2025 एक्ट रिमूव कॉम्प्लेक्स प्रोविजन एंड आउटडेटेड लैंग्वेज, मेकिंग द रिस्ट्रिक्शंस मैकेनिज्म फास्टर, क्लियर एंड मोर प्रैक्टिकल फॉर एनफोर्समेंट बेसिकली। तो इसके हिसाब से अगर देखा जाए तो जो नया वाला प्रोसीजर है, मेकिंग रिस्ट्रिक्शन मैकेनिज्म फास्टर, कि वो फास्टर है उसके अंदर, क्लीनर है बेसिकली, और एंड मोर प्रैक्टिकल है फॉर एनफोर्समेंट के लिए बेसिकली। तो फ्रेंड, इसके लिए आप रेफर कर सकते हैं सेक्शन 277, सेक्शन 247 सेक्शन 4, पेज नंबर 277 और जो जो एक्ट है हमारा उसका, और इनकम टैक्स 2025 का फ्रेंड्स। और फ्रेंड्स, यह सर्जर सीजर का पॉइंट आपको क्लियर हुआ होगा। आज का मेरा मेन पर्पस है फ्रेंड, आपको ओवरव्यू, just to explain with the overview of the income tax act 2025, so that you can order your copy and just start studying. Okay, nothing has been changed drastically, but things are changed in such a manner we should have a prima facie view on that, so that again we can have the expertise over this act basically। हमें हमें ऐसा डिले फील ना हो, या कोई फॉर्मो की फीलिंग ना हो कि वी आर गेटिंग बिहाइंड, मतलब नॉट बाय स्टडिंग दिस। तो द पर्पस ऑफ टुडेज सेशन, जस्ट टू गिव यू ओवरव्यू ऑफ कंप्लीट इनकम टैक्स एक्ट 2025 एंड डिस्कस सम इम्पोर्टेंट चेंजेस विच में इम्पैक्ट योर डे टू डे वर्किंग बेसिकली। जैसे टीडीएस का है आपका, आपका 54 AC के बॉन्ड वाला पॉइंट है, ये सब ऐसे पॉइंट्स हैं जो आपका ड्रेस्टिकली चेंज कर सकता है आपका, मतलब किसी एसआईसी को ओपिनियन देनी है, आपको कुछ करनी है, क्योंकि थिंग्स आर गोइंग टू अप्लीकेबल सून। 1 April 2026 is not much far, less than 3 months is there. So we need to start working over that. We should start not only working, we should have our copy first, then we should study, we should tell our teams also that they will also start studying basically. So if we will find some major changes, we can notify the अपना clients also, and accordingly we can manage this act in a best possible manner friends। आपका फ्रेंड्स कोई क्वेश्चन है आप मुझे पूछ सकते हैं। ठीक है, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड पे आई हैव गिवन अ कॉपी ऑफ दिस एक्ट। जो एक्ट मैंने आपको दिखाया फिजिकली, वो सेम एक्ट है जो आपको यहाँ पे दिया गया है इसके अंदर, कि आप अपनी कॉपी सीडीएस पोर्टल से आप इसको ऑर्डर कर सकते हैं। इसके अलावा फ्रेंड्स, कोई आपको स्पेसिफिक डाउट है, दीज आर माई डिटेल। ठीक है, अभी बाई चांस आ नहीं रही इसके ऊपर, ठीक है, मैं आपको चैट बॉक्स में अपने डिटेल्स शेयर कर दूंगा। आपका कोई स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन है जो आप मुझसे पूछना चाहते हैं इनकम टैक्स एक्ट 2025 के ऊपर, यू कैन राइट टू मेल टू मी, यू कैन मैसेज मी, कॉल मी टू डिस्कस इन डिटेल। कोई स्पेसिफिक चीज जो आप हमने डिस्कस करी, तो आपको डिस्कस करनी है, वो डिस्कस कर सकते हैं। मेरा पर्पस मेन था कि आपको एक ओवरव्यू दे दूं, जिससे कि आप एक बार पढ़ना स्टार्ट करें नए वाले एक्ट को, और एक बार उस पर आप यूज टू हो जाएं, जिससे कि आप अपनी टीम को भी अच्छे से गाइड कर सकें, और जो भी आपको डिसीजन लेने हैं फ्यूचर के अंदर, वो सब चीज़ें आप बेटर वे में कर सकें बेसिकली। ठीक है सर, कोई क्वेश्चन तो आप चैट बॉक्स में आप लिख सकते हैं। आई विल टेक द हेल्प अक्षित जी, मैं अक्षित जी की हेल्प लेके उसको टेकअप कर लूंगा क्वेश्चन को बेसिकली। हम्म, अक्षित जी, यहाँ चैट बॉक्स है अवेलेबल उनके लिए, पार्टिसिपेंट्स के लिए?
Yes, sir, the chat box is available.
ओके 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 ओके। So friends, I humbly request you, if you have any question with respect to income tax act 2025, you can write down. I can reply you. We have 5 minutes there. Thereafter, next session will taken by Vishal ji. So 5 minutes is already there. If you want to have any question, I can take up. And I also give my detail in chat box to you so that you can connect later on also if you have any doubt, anything else. Meanwhile, I think Vidraji may continue. If any question will come, then I will answer accordingly, basically.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much for bringing the changes so beautifully. It was like a very simplified version of the changes in income tax.
Mm.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now to proceed with the next session of the day, which is audit quality, we have CA Vimal Chopra sir with us. Welcome, sir. So
Thank
Vimal
you.
sir is a practicing CA since 1989, bringing over 3 decades of professional experience. He has held various leadership positions in the Jaipur branch and CIRC of ICI and has been co-opted member and a special invitee to key ICI committees. Sar has delivered hundreds of lectures across India, both online and offline, on diverse professional subjects and has served as an ICI selected online expert assisting bank auditors. He is also currently the Honorary Treasurer of BMVSS, National Treasurer of Ratna Sangh, and has represented India through BMVSS under the India for Humanity initiative for the Ministry of External Affairs in Kabul, Afghanistan. Welcome, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Dadi. Thank you to the committee for giving me an opportunity, and thank you to the chairman of the committee. The topic taken for today is the audit quality, and is this slide visible?
Not yet. Yeah, it's visible now.
To the committee. See, the topic taken for today is the audit quality, and in the wake of various bodies, checking our quality, making comments, and the institute taking full care of releasing n number of obligations. The even the site of the website of the institute, if you are a regular visitor, you will find that there are a lot of such changes. So rightly pointed out by Mr. Sangam Agrawal ji that it is just the speed with which everything is changing. So I think quality is also not only in the income tax but also in the attestation services which we all are rendering. Sanjay, it was wonderful to hear you, and to the committee also for giving me an opportunity. See,
My
quality.
pleasure, sir.
See,
Thank you so much, Vishal ji. Vimal ji, it's my pleasure to have on same platform, sir. And I just see you are ex-chairman at CRC. So somehow we are colleague as well.
yeah. See,
Because sir,
alma mater is ICI.
yeah, yeah, I am currently an ARC member basically, sir. So
Yeah.
yeah, but we have a one very famous thing, sir. Once the chairman, always a chairman, basically, sir. We by heart follow this basically, sir.
Alma mater is the auditor for for the entire India, and the very good thing which is associated with the institute is the audit is the proprietary duty of the chartered accountants.
Yes, sir.
So I mean that is the point where this quality matters a lot. So with this very small input about the quality, I'm developing the subject and I'll be sharing the entire discussion on this topic. See, in this, as far as the scope of the audit of quality is concerned, I have included herein the compliances with respect to technical, professional, ethical standards. Because as you are a professional, so it is expected that you will work according to certain, within certain boundaries, within the certain framework. So that framework is either decided by your alma mater, that is the institute, or the law, or the specific expectations which is related to the engagement which is given to you. So the quality will always be checked with reference to the standards available on the technical or professional or ethical matters. Then it will be checked with reference to the duties imposed upon you with respect to the law in which you are auditing, whether it is the Companies Act or it is the the uh, Income Tax Act or various other acts. Then not only that, you have to prove the compliance of the standards and the applicability of the standards. You have also to establish that you had a system of quality control within your firm, within your entity, in with regard to the quality standards, quality control standards which are applicable. And ultimately what should result as as this quality control is that there is no material misstatement in the financial statements, not only as on the date of the reporting but also up to the date of reporting. So, because you are always certifying as on certain date, but then there can be events occurring after the balance sheet date which has a material impact on the facts and figures being reported as on the date of year end, or whatever that period you are uh, auditing at or assuring, giving assurance. Then apart from this also, you have to consider what were the reporting obligations on the auditor as well as on the auditee. So this is how the framework of the reporting, which will affect the quality of the reporting. So this is the scope that we will be touching upon in this entire session. Now, what all are the the quality related bodies which I would like to refer to you. So one is legal authority, which is as per section 132 subsection 1 of the Companies Act, the NAFRA. And you will, if you will visit the site of the NAFRA, then the decided cases will give you an overview of what type of objections, what type of observations, what type of developments which is happening through the judgments delivered by the NAFRA. The whole idea before the government, which per se my understanding is that give a statutory power to a body which will create a sense of discipline amongst the entities which are auditing, because ultimately what you are auditing is being relied upon and you are the only custodian of the country. Audit is the proprietary field. Then now let us establish on record that what kind of quality measures have you taken so that the results which we are relying upon are coming out of the standard process which has been suggested to you have been followed. So NAFRA is legal. Then thereafter, as per the CA Act, the Quality Review Board was constituted under Section 28 capital A, which appoints various technical reviewers. So those guidelines available on the for the use of the technical reviewers would be very useful to you and me whenever we are trying to review the kind of the audit which are covered in the QRB. Then the internal institute also since 2002. So 2002, two boards were constituted. One was peer review board and the other was FRRP. And the scopes which I will be touching on in the subsequent slides, but they also concentrate on not only preparation but also on the presentation. And then the peer review board has a different scope, which is also covered by the Center for Audit Quality Directorate in terms of AQMM, which this center has developed for all of us, which acts as a self guide for us to review the quality of the audit which we are, which we are at. And then, of course, if I don't mention AASB, then it will be out of context. That is the apex body of the institute, which deals with entire audit related matters. So now, just in one words, if I were to refer what is the scope of NAFRA, QRB, TQRB, etc. So NAFRA is to oversee the quality of service for ensuring compliance with the standards. If you see NAFRA, so it says quality of service. Then if it is QRB, then review quality of services by chartered accountants in all walks of services which they are referring, including auditing services. Today, I will be restricting to only the auditing quality, etc. So therefore, the process which the QRBs follows gives us enough input to check the levels of our quality in our organization of audit firm under review, AFEO. Then TAQRB also provides complete guidance about the compliances, and also it provides the various publications which enhance which gives you certain examples through which you can enhance the quality of the tax audit. And it is not only with reference to 44, it refers to any the other quality related or other income tax related, taxation related audits as well. Then FRRB, it deals with compliance of the law and then generally accepted accounting practices in the preparation and the presentation. Preparation is part of the management, but presentation you have to check not only the preparation portion, the auditor has to check, and then if there is any deviation from the standard practices, and apart from the preparation, presentation is also is of course a domain of the auditor. Then CAQD, which is newly developed, it has come out with firm manual how a CA firm should be structured, what can be the or what should be the quality measures within the CA firm which ensures the delivery of the quality. Now something about the ICA initiatives as well. There are various boards and directorate and the committees available on the site of the institute. Just for 1 second, the committee for members in practice, it provides you various useful publications to ensure the quality. Auditing Assurance Standard Board, that is your body as far as auditing is concerned. Ethical Standard Boards, the peer which deals with code of conduct and latest developments, etc. And then the peer review board, which where another chartered accountant who is qualified as a peer reviewer comes to your office, checks it as if he is from QRB or he is from NAFRA or he's anywhere. So if you offer yourself for peer review, you get a insight of your actual real position, and you can improve the quality within the time allowed, and you can ensure installing such system which ultimately, so you have to refer to the website of peer review. And of course there are various publications from various committees, from various boards and directorate, which sets the the subject matter of the audit quality. Now I will also like to refer a few publications for your review. Technical Guide on Conducting Quality Review. It's a publication by QRB. It's a very useful publication, and adherence to this publication will definitely improve your audit quality. Then AQMA is a wonderful tool, I have dedicated one slide for it, developed by CAQD, used in PRRB, this peer review board, and it is mandatory for the certain category of the big firms attesting, discharging the auditing function, attesting functions. Then there's a good publication of erstwhile CCBMP committee, which is ready reference for the practitioners and CA firms. And there's a good collection. You can also find this collection elsewhere in the peer review manual type of books, some other things also. But I found this publication useful for you as on date as well. Then for popularly the audit quality is with reference to the taxation audits. Therefore, I'm referring to this 44AB, which almost keeps on revising with every major amendment that comes. Then Firm Manual. Firm Manual is a very good publication. It structures what should be the ideal structure of the positions of chartered accountants in the firm. That is, who is going to be the executing partner, who is going to be the quality partner, who is going to be the managing partner. So these publications indicatively cover the audit quality scope, which I have just now referred. Now, coming to the core of the subjects, now I have set the framework within which you can judge, you can judge your requirement, and you can collect the material, and then you can go through in detail. Within the time allowed, we may not be able to cover 100%. So I have tried that the entire framework should be available to you for as far as for quality. Now, very first requirement of quality is that what was expected from you, have you delivered it? Auditing involves a lot of judgment process. Then this judgment has to be based on your professional competence, knowledge, skill, and use of the technology, etc. So the basic requirements of the standard has to be known to you every time. So therefore, technical standards, and there are ethical standards as well. Like if the what kind of up to what degree of the financial income criteria you are dependent on one particular client. If suppose your income coming from one client is exceeding 40% even, then there is a serious threat. And if you are following certain practices, standard practices, procedures, then threat can be mitigated. So that way, ethical standards are also applicable, technical standards are also applicable, and the legal standards, India's, etc., or whatever other standards that is imposed for you for compliances, that all determines the quality. So number one, you have to know, for ensuring audit quality, what kind of technical, ethical, professional publications are applicable on you. Unless you know, unless you don't know what is your scope, what all are applicable, you really can't deliver. Then second is compliance with relevant laws and regulations as per section as per SA 250. You should know what is the applicable law and regulations which will make a framework for you. Then implementation of system of quality. You have, you know, the relevant law, you know the technical standard, you know the ethical standard, you know everything, but then there is no uh, within the firm there is no system of quality control. Like what kind of working papers are to be prepared, how the audit memos are to be issued, how the data is to be saved, then how the data is to be retrieved, how the data is to be ultimately finally stored, on what is a retrieval system, cloud backup, security of the client's data. All those things require a robust system to be in place in your organization, discharging the attestation functions. So it should not only it should not only ensure that there is a system of quality control, but it should also adhere to the quality control standards. Then the result of the audit quality is that the final report which you are delivering, whether financial statements or any kind of document, etc., is free from material misstatement. There was a change in the law. The essay, the significant word was replaced with material 2 3 years ago. In NAFRA observation, you will find that NAFRA even has pointed out the cases where the word significant was not replaced by material in listed company audits. NAFRA referred that it is not only the content. We are not talking about the content. You have not changed. So you just change the name, significant accounting policy to material accounting. Okay, understandable in first year, but second year, if you also if you continue to keep the same significant accounting policies but just change the name matter, then it is affecting your quality. You have to understand what is the difference between the significant and material. First, you have to be updated that a change has come. Unless you are updated technically, professionally, ethically, legal, all those things, you cannot improve your quality. And even if you have updated yourself, then you have to understand how you can improve it, how you can deliver what is expected from the change. So these are the basic four criteria. Now, AQMA, as I said, that I would love to dedicate one particular slide for it, so you understand how a quality can be delivered. The quality is on a scale of 600 numbers, which you yourself have to give. There are various questions, objective questions, range of numbers is given. If you satisfy that question, if you fulfill the conditions of that question, give yourself that mark. And there's a range in that mark: one category, two category, three category, or say average category, bad category, or good category. According to that, you can give your marks. So even if your firm is not eligible for AQM, or you don't want to go for the AQM 2, AQM 2 version 2.0, then also go through with the questionnaire of AQM and give your firm the numbers, and then see what at which stage you are actually falling into. The For any audit quality, three pillars can be stated from the use of this AQM. One is, what is the management, how the assurance is being delivered within your organizations. You may have articles, but if you don't have the training system, if you don't have the reporting system, if you don't have the library, a lot of other things. So practice management assurance. So there are various questions. Then human resource management. What is the what is the procedure prevalent in your organization delivering the assurance services, of educating the audit team or educating the human resources? Because this is not only just the team also, but finally if the report is being delivered, then a whole process is followed. uh, the presentation is important, the upkeep of the working paper files, the completion of the working papers in the next 60 days, the the information which you are getting from third parties, use of technology for audit sample selection, a lot of other criteria are there. So human resource management is that you have to train the person. There is a Chinese proverb which says, if you have got 8 hours to cut a tree, then expect 6 hours in sharpening the axe. You know, if you have got 8 hours to cut a tree, then you spend 6 hours in sharpening it. Then we have to, ask to yourself, what is the time you take for completion of the audit? Do you always work, or do you mostly work, or do your clients are such that they come at the 11th hour? So the audits, the assurance functions being delivered at the 11th hour, how can it ensure audit quality? So that means there has to be a running process. The categorization of the clients into A category, B category, C category, then making quarterly balance sheets, even if it is not mandatory. I mean, the good clients having turnover in thousands and hundreds of crores, why can't you start the quarterly auditing system, prepare the quarterly financial statements, note down. So because quarter to quarter comparison will give you many important criteria to be finally looked into when you are about to finalize the balance sheets. So the AQMM, with its three classifications, assurance, human resource, and digital competency, will also provide you an on-site idea of the audit quality which your firm is maintaining at present, and how you can improve will depend on answers which this AQMM has asked to you, and the answers which you have given to you, and the scores. The objective, as far as the quality review is concerned, that we can say is that quality of the statutory audit and reporting by the statutory auditors. So ultimately, if a task is given to you, then your report will be the starting point. So your report is your signature. You have to mention your UDIN, You can't deny that this is not your report. So after generation of the UDIN, your report becomes a public document. It is for the public to ask you the questions. In listed companies, you attend the AGM and there can come a lot of questions before you. How you have treated this particular issue, how you have disclosed that particular issue, or etc. etc. Then quality control framework adopted by audit firm under review. QR, QRB uses the term AFUR, audit firm under review, because when it visits you, then it has to check whether and what kind of quality controls, systems, documentation, digital competency, the human resources, the assurance, the various working papers, the status of your working paper file, the all kind of this the trail audit trail which is generated will be reviewed by this team. So the quality, if you don't know how to maintain the quality, you cannot produce the quality, and you can offer it for the review of the quality. I understand the participants will be from the variety of the the audit firms discharging their duties from category first listed companies, SysNet audits, until unto the small audits and partnership firms, etc., etc. So if the entire audit quality, if I want within the two lines, so then one is the report which you have generated, signed, you didn't becoming public document. This is the start, and the framework which is adopted by you for ensuring quality is your inside work. One, the outer side or the inside. The inside is absolutely very important, and that is what we will be touching at. So for that insights, you have to have audit processes. Now, what kind of audit processes you have adopted before releasing the audit report? What kind of applicable standards you have listed out and kept paper in your working paper file, that while delivering the audit report, you have gone through with the following standards and you have made sure that the standards are applied. If this checklist is applied, then it will result into it will result into delivering of the quality. Then financial reporting framework applicable to the auditee. Financial reporting framework, please just sorry, applicable standards on auditing. So the list has to be prepared, that what kind of standards you have covered and all those kind of things. Then financial reporting framework applicable to the auditee. Then relevant pronouncements and publications of ICI issued from time to time. The legal and regulatory framework uh, which is adopted. Then legal, so these kind of things which will help you to maintain your audit quality. Then this is materiality and audit risk. Tens of standards are applicable, but you have to see that what is the materiality, to what extent you have to check. Not necessary that the entire standards which are applicable or which may be applicable will be checked by you, or will be, it is just not making the file bigger and bigger by just inserting the checklist and writing down no, 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 not applicable, etc., etc. You have to see that what is the materiality, and ultimately what kind of report you are generating, and what kind of audit risk is attached with that. So nature, timing and extent of audit procedures to be employed, to meet the requirements of the standards, then evaluating whether sufficient appropriate audit evidences, because this will always be there, that what kind of sufficient, and this sufficient and appropriate audit evidences is subjective. This is as per you. You have to see that what will be sufficient, what will be appropriate. This is, and this institute since 1949 has never taken away the right of you to exercise your professional judgment. It is your signature. It is your signature. It is your professional judgment. It is your skepticism. And every facts and circumstances in every case will be different. So institute relies upon you to assess the risk, provides you the publication, it provides you the tools, it provides you the the all other every year the institute is updating itself with the quality measures being taken. So this materiality and audit risk is always has always been with you, is now with you, and will remain with you. Case to case, nobody can give you a overall 100% 100% compliant checklist. You will have to apply your professional judgment. So that is very important. So materiality, then evaluating management judgment in applying entities applicable financial reporting. There can be some there can be intentions of the management. A public issue is coming, the loss is there, declining sales trends, or heavy taxation, or uncertainty about recognition of the income due to tribunal judgments, high court judgments, or due to various other reasons which you as auditor will know. So your quality will depend on how you tackle those important issues where the management has taken certain decision considering certain their objectives in the mind. So you have not to yield to their objective. You have to check the requirements which is expected from you and how you want to deliver that. So independence is the one which has always been the strong pillar of the institute. So your independence has to be that you should understand their perspective, but then you should also understanding the expectations of the bodies, societies, standards, and everything from you as an auditor. So take a independent, rational judgment. So that is the conclusions which you will be making on the basis of standards. Now, having explained you the audit quality, what is the scope, what are the bodies which you are which are keeping an hawk eye on you, who are just keeping that how you are functioning, and your institute which is from time to time coming out with latest publications and implementation guides, standards, conducting conferences, seminars, uh, the updating websites, making study groups, giving you international exposures, expanding the horizon of the audits. Of course, there will be changes as far as auditing approach is concerned, from client to client, technology development and other things, but none of these things can affect the quality of the auditing. you are you are the auditor, you know the best about the quality which you are delivering at. So now it will not be out of place if I introduce you to some standards which affect very importantly about the quality of the auditing. Now, first of all, which I consider personally the most important is the audit documentation. Now, you say that you are the auditor, you say that you have audited, you say that the system of quality control is there within your organization, you say that you have complied with all law and regulations, and you say that XYZ, the XYZ matters relating to RPT, TCWG, or additional disclosure requirements, etc., all have been met. Okay, you say, I rely. You are chartered accountant. You are saying, I rely, I'm relying. But then where is the document? Trust, but verify. Very important word in auditing is trust. I don't say you don't trust. Trust, but verify. The audit quality will always be better, will always be continuously better if you follow a concept that you will trust, but you will verify. So, documentation, document is the per se primary proof that you have carried out the audit in accordance with the expectations from the law or from the institute or from the engagement criteria set out by your client. So the S30 is audit documentation. It affects it demonstrates how the audit quality has been delivered. Then SF240, which is specific to the frauds in the auditing. The fraud is, the fraud is not the subject according to which or as per which the audit is being conducted, but fraud is inherent. So you have to include that that your audit program had such a review of checks and controls to ensure that no fraud remain undetected. So if there is any fraud, it will be detected. That point you have to, consider. You have to see. So S240, because and another important thing is that as far as reporting of fraud is concerned, it has to be timely. If you have reported a fraud which is not in time, which is not to the all related authorities, then such reporting is going to put you into trouble. I don't say you don't report, you report. But if you are delivering any audit, you have to consider your responsibilities as regards the fraud. Because what happens, auditor क्या कर रहा था? Any crime happens, police क्या कर रही थी? We are in the eyes of the public, newspaper, social media, everybody. So keep this in mind that the fraud has to be avoided. You just can't shut your eyes as well. नहीं ये मेरा काम नहीं है. I have nothing to do with detection of the fraud. No, you have to see that is there a possibility, and you have to carry out certain checks to ensure that you did try to check whether there exists any fraud. Apart from also asking the management the question whether any fraud was detected during the course of our audit period. Then this is 250, which is consideration of law and regulations. That is no CLAR, because everything where the penalty is imposed, some monetary transaction will be there. So the imagination of the lawmakers is that auditor having access to the financial statements, they know that what kind of violation has occurred. Then you have to make a judgment that what kind of violation has occurred and what are its implications, whether it is for the delayed payment, whether it is for the unintended violation of the law, or it is the regular violation of the law, or it is the intentional violation of the law. And because these things can have impact, serious impact, as I said in the very beginning, audit is not with respect to date, for the date or the period which it covers, but it is also with respect to the date of auditing when you are releasing the report. So the period from end of the year up to the date of your signing, it will cover a lot of, events occurring after that. So another is SA 260. I'm just giving some passing reference to these all standards, because it is my intention is just to make you available, make you abreast, or make you updated with all those things which are eyeing at you, which can help you, or which are useful for your team, or which is or which should be there in your audit working papers, so as to see that the quality which you have delivered was par excellence, or was as per the expectation of the society, or as per expectation of your alma mater, that is ICAI. So uh, it is then TCWG, though charged with governance. Uh, it also, because these are the persons, because these are the persons who have influential control over the entity which you are auditing. So you have to rely on them. But trust but verify, this approach has to be applied more specifically on this category of the employees, popularly known as TCWG. Then 265, communicating deficiencies in internal control to those charged to TCWG. This internal control is a serious issue, because it is such a pipeline that if there's a mistake in the pipeline, then whatever is input is not going to deliver in the output which for it is designed. So the internal control can relate to various matters: maker, checker, the comparison, the physical verification, the third party confirmations, the reconciliation, the data backup, the exit interview, the internal audit reports. A lot of the steps are there which will help you in understanding the internal control. So your audit quality can never be good. Your audit quality can never be good. I'm giving more stress if there is a weak internal control. This audit trail has come, and you have audited all the company audit, and I think, and there is a specific para on the audit trail compliance also, and I think you all must have checked what kind of changes were made by the client during the course of your audit, and how have you dealt them in your working, so that you evidence that working should be available in your working papers, so as to prove the quality which you have delivered, audit quality. Then joint audit of financial statements. Joint does not reduce your responsibility. Understand, joint does not reduce your responsibility. Yes, it can predominantly fix your responsibilities, but in no way it is going to reduce, because at the end of the ultimately, what one was doing is being done by two. The responsibility is there on the audit as an institution. So there is a responsibility. So if you have a specific suspicion, skepticism in your mind, then those specific questions has to be asked to your joint auditor. A reply should be taken, kept on record, to ensure, in case of any trouble, that audit quality of you as the joint auditor was not deficient. So the mistake was there, but then you have taken all due diligence, you have taken all due care, and you discharge your responsibilities, in a manner it was expected. Then identifying and assessing the risks of material misstatement through understanding the entity and its environment. And another important thing which I would like to say in the very beginning is that you might be auditing one entity, but every year you have to ask yourself whether you should continue with the assignment. It is not that the entity was good in the last year, it will continue to be good in the current year. There can be change in the management, there can be change in the circumstances, there can be change in their expectations, there can be change in their future planning, and all those things can influence the entity or its management. And so, those things you have to always keep in mind, that what are the possible risks, or what are the possible material misstatement which you can come across during the course of auditing. So then, once you do that, or once you consider that this point has to be considered by me, then you have to see that what kind of significant risks are likely to be there, and does they require special audit consideration, and who is who in the entity, and who should be approached for what, and whether the control system, whether the combination of others, the like the internal control, internal audit system, the special audit, the revenue audit, or the other audits, or in case of, let us say, in case of merger or demerger type cases, one another, then maybe that the auditor of the other firm will obviously be different, generally in case. Then in that case, what is the entire process which is being seen by you? What was the viability report? What was the actual auditing report? How the deviations are considered or were considered? What is your view on the viability report being presented to you? All those kind of things, because one good merger can change the fortune of the company. One bad merger can, like idea Vodafone. Idea Vodafone, you as an auditor have to have lot of questions before yourself, whether this merger will succeed, what are the benefits, or what are the consequences. So I'm just trying to give you one just latest example, that the risks of the material misstatement, risks of the material events, risks of the material changes which is happening in the business or in the entity, they all are going to affect your audit quality. The checklist of the last year will not work, may not work in the current year. So every year is an independent examination. You can take help from the past, but you cannot rely on the. That is the caution which I want to give to you. You just can't say, taxation also, you have argument that it is not res judicate. The facts which were in the last year may not be present in the current year. So that way, the audit quality is every year's task. Every year you have to check it out. Then 320, materiality in planning and performing an audit. Materiality is very important, and you have always to take care of that. Now, what is materiality? Of course, you all are chartered accountants. The knowledge of something which can influence the decision of the user, roughly the definition of the materiality. If something can change your opinion, can change your approach, can change your thinking process, can enhance the checking, can reduce the checking, all those things are material. So your audit process has to be such wherein these kind of material information, figures, disclosures, deviations, all are seen by your audit team. The results is compiled, seen by the audit team, the audit leader, the executing partner, then presented to your quality partner, and if necessary, if the issues are such, then the matter can also go before the managing partner. Generally, managing partner has nothing to do with the quality of the audits. So, but within the firm, the managing partner has to see whether there's an overburden over the quality partner, whether there's an overburden job on the executing partner. So it is the audit quality is the responsibility of managing partner as well. He has to ensure that firm has adequate resources, firm has every that best quality, etc., which is required so as to deliver the quality of the auditing. Then the auditor's response to assesses risk. Now, if you have understood, or if you see that yes, there are risks, then how you are responding to mitigate those risks. So you can use special techniques. You can enhance the area of the checking, but all these things have to be documented, because on paper there has come a necessity for you to attend to the assessed risk. Now, then it is equally important how you have attended that risk. It trust but verified will not apply to you only. It will also apply to QRV, it will also apply to NAFRA, it will also apply to other agencies. They are trusting you, but they would like to verify how have you attended that assessed risk. So these are the points which you can find in SA 330. Then SA 450, evaluation of misstatements identified during the audit. If there's a process which is continued, then it will result into finding of various misstatements, errors, omissions, etc. Now, those all things you have to see that what kind of impact it can ultimately make on the finalization of the financial statements, or on the reporting, or on the pattern of the reporting, or disclosure requirements of the law, of the standards, or of the engagement letters given to you. So these for all those things, SA 450 will come to your help in evaluating the misstatements which you have identified during the course of auditing. Then audit documentation was SA 230. Audit evidence is SA 500. Audit evidence. Now, what is sufficient appropriate evidence is left on you. So you have to comment whether you have obtained and whether it has helped you to reduce the audit risk to an acceptable level, and has it enabled you to draw a reasonable conclusion. Then those all things will become audit evidence. So the nature, quality, quantum, relevance, all those things has to be decided by you. Yes, there are various standards, various publications to your help. So make use of them. It will ensure the audit quality uh, in the manner it is expected. Then external confirmations, third party confirmation, famous Satyam case, and a lot of other things. So the nowadays there are various automated softwares which are available, which can auto generate and which can automatically send to the the various parties. So these are all external confirmations. So because the duty cast upon you is to give final opinion on the financial statements, or the reports, or the documents, whatever that may be. So external confirmations has to be your right. So you have to exercise that external confirmation, maybe on year to year on sample basis or others. Then analytical procedure. Everything, there is a famous saying in auditing, everything is good or bad by comparison. You draw one line, nobody can compare it. But if you draw two lines, then you can compare which line is what, etc. So analytical procedure is something which will reduce your time, which will ensure, like in medical sciences also, every day, in case of serious issues, every day there is a blood test. So those analysis of changes in the blood gives you an input of the treatment, whether the patient is responding to the treatment, etc. So this is analytical procedure. So remember this one particular line, which I'm repeating once again very slowly. everything is good or bad by comparison. So this SA 520 provides you the details about the analytical procedures, and for ensuring the best audit quality, this standard and the ways and tools specified in this standard has to be applied. Then audit sampling. Now, in this case of automation, audit sampling, sometimes I feel that is irrelevant. But then, apart from the just financial data, there are other enough data also which you have to consider while auditing. So you have to use audit sampling methods. Physical verification is subject to audit sampling. The third-party confirmation subject to audit sampling. The reconciliations subject to third-party sampling, the review of the secretarial records and compliances, etc., part of audit sampling. So audit sampling is not just restricted to financial statement or the data bunch which is or the data bunch which is given to you, but it is also with respect to the others. Now, considering the time available before us, I'll be, fastly touching upon the remaining few standards. Auditing accounting estimates, including fair value accounting estimates and related disclosures. So, these estimates, as I said to you, that maybe the management intention sometime, you know, one year in 1 year the stock may be inflated, or other year it may be deflated. Considering taxation or public or the disclosure purposes, etc., you have to be smart enough to find out that, because ultimately that is going to affect your audit quality. Then 550 is related parties. Related party transaction is absolutely RPT are very important, very important. But then you have also to know that is there whether you are whether the client or the auditee is reaching to the related party through masked entities. So you have to see that why there is a one why there are series of transactions through one particular entity only. Is it that one particular entity is only a wheel? If that is the case, then so RPT transactions are very important in case bigger the exposure, bigger the involvement of the public money, bigger is the responsibility for on us to be alert as far as RP transactions is concerned. They can ruin the audit quality. The 570 is going concern, nothing much to say. Written representations, yes. Engagement letter, apart from the engagement letter, the written representation also, fixes the responsibility on the parties of the auditing. Then using the work of an auditor's expert, you're not expert. If a running business is taken, or if some intangible assets are taken, or some valuation, technical valuations, etc., are concerned, then the expert opinions, etc. Then forming an opinion and reporting on financial statements. This one was revised. In all material respects, the financial statement which are prepared, an opinion. Ultimately, the opinion nowadays not only on the true and fair view, but also on the true and correct, because the data is generated by the computer. If you have checked the integrity of the data, if you have checked the internal control system, if your sample questions have run perfectly on the system, then why the institution will not ask you to give a report on true and correct content? It says, as far as disclosure is concerned, presentation is concerned, you can say whether it is true and fair. But if it is a mathematics, if it is 1 plus 1 is equals to 2, then why it is not true and correct? So those for those matters, communicating calm key audit matters, the independent auditors report, the and last board meeting, you have to inform to the brand to the board, or all other relevant matters, how particular or if significant matters have been dealt by you, and those are the things. So SA 701, SA 705, modifications in the opinions of independent report. 706, emphasis of EOM, emphasis of matter, which says that such matters for which it is fundamental to the users for understanding of the financial statement. If you don't tell these matters, then they misunderstand the financial statements. So there comes a responsibility on you. So wherever necessary, for ensuring the audit quality, you have to make use of the EOM. EOM are not qualification per se, but then they are such elaborated paragraphs, such elaborated disclosure, which helps the users to understand the financial statements in a more better way than the others. Then so in the last, I was little fast. If there is any questions, I would love to take them. It is for the committee. If there are any questions, so audit is something which I understand. It is very difficult for chartered accountant to teach. I mean, for me like person, it's very difficult to teach auditing. But uh, you know, still, if there is any question based on my experience or whatever my life has given to me, I would love to, if there is anything or otherwise. So 4 5 minutes is available. If there is any questions, then we can take up.
Thank you so much, sir, for the session. Given the dynamic environment, there are so many compliances over the auditors, it become very necessary to adhere to audit quality. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah. Thank
Let me see if there are any questions, or you can put up your email ID or your contact details so that people can ask the question later on if they want. Over the chat,
Both I can write down.
contact details. Yeah.
I have mentioned my email ID in chat box. And yeah, it is the name, surname, first name, followed by name, and gmail.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. So with this, we can conclude today's webinar, and thank you so much for the speakers to have these wonderful sessions across, and the vice chairman and chairman sir for hosting these amazing webinars, and thank you for participants for being so attentive listeners. So with this, let's conclude this webinar. Have a great evening ahead. Thank you everyone.